This is Football Friday Night, The Score. Supported by Johnny's Pizza House, CarStar Laney's Collision Center, Bayou Kubota, Guerrero and Guerrero the Injury Attorney, and Washita Valley Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to call this Football Friday Night, The Score Extra. I'm Zach Richardson alongside Jeremy Bryant and Shaw Pryor. Explain a little bit what this is. If you didn't get enough of your football fun from Football Friday Night, The Score, we're going to come here and bring you all the extended highlights and give us a chance to really chat about the games that we saw tonight. But today really felt like the first week one for us as far as running around, multiple games, different places today. Guys, how did it feel to be back in the groove of things?
Yeah, I was super excited to be back in the groove of things. You know, my first football season in Northeast Louisiana, and let me tell you, the crowd was already going crazy. For the Jamboree out there today, I mean, can't get much better than that.
I mean, you know, a lot of great matchups. So, you know, it's the signal, the alarm has been set. All high school football is back. Obviously, college started yesterday, but there's nothing like a good Bayou Jam to start it off.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talk about Bayou Jamming every year, such a fun event, and obviously tonight we kicked things off with not one, not two, but three fantastic games. But there was one game, Jeremy, that always stands out from the rest.
There's always one that really matters more than the rest. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're talking about Ruston and Neville, starting out with the oldest rivalry in Louisiana, the state runner-up, and those pesky Neville Tigers. Jamarian Roberson gets the Tigers revved up, run to the outside and up the sideline and said, move those chains. First down, Parker Robinson said, I'll take it from here. Lays it out there to Zaylen Young, comes down with the contested catch. Neville gets on the board first. And now the Bearcats drive. Not so pretty. Fumble on the ground. Neville recovers it for the turnover. First play of the drive, a bad start. But Bearcats stand tall. They don't break. Neville get the field goal unit out. They make it 10-0. Neville driving Parker Robinson to the left side. Batted down by Keelan Davis. He wanted that interception real bad, but he could take the stop instead. Bearcats get back to work. Dalen Powell making something out of nothing, battling for every yard he can to put up for this next play. Ruston under a minute. Hartwell lets it fly to Josiah Morgan. Get back in that weight room. The big dogs out tonight to the house just before the half, and the Bearcats drive in the game with a touchdown late in the second half. They seal the deal. 13-10. No Ahmad Hudson, I might add. If they can beat Neville like that without Ahmad, scary things gonna happen. All right, next we're going to Mangum and Richwood, two promising ball clubs. Richwood looking for some homecoming night revenge against those Dragons. Mangum starting out first. Kobe Case with the QB draw, makes a few moves, smashes for that first down. Soon after, Casey rolling out the pocket, and you know who he's going to find? His big man on the loose, Blake Pierce, nothing but space and opportunity, runs in for 6. Mangum takes a 21-0 lead. Richwood, you know, they're starting to get some momentum going. Let's get it to Bing Bing, I like to call him Cedric Bingham, and the Bam Bam train gets rolled in the backfield. Plows for a first down. You know, back to Bing Bing, here we go again, making this Dragon defense pay. Another big run to the outside, brought down right outside the end zone, setting them up pretty and nice. Take a seat, Bing Bing. Carter McClendon will do the rest. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown, the 2-point conversion to make it a 21-8 ball game for the Richwood Rams. But it was those Dragons. Look, here comes KJ Bell on the punt return, making the man miss. Bye-bye to the crib. Stunning like his daddy. Remember the old Alabama star Kenny Bell? Yeah, that's his son. He made Papa proud tonight. Mangum takes the 28-8 win. Now, Delhi Charter now in the Jonesboro Hodge Tigers in the final tune-up before the season. The Tigers on the prowl first with the handoff. Tailback takes it the distance for the opening touchdown instead. Put it on the board. Get my points up there, man. I'm done playing around with y'all, all right? Now, Delhi Charter, they're going to have their chance to respond on there, and respond did they. 3rd and long, heaves it down the field. He's going to find somebody. He said he's down there somewhere, and the Gators said, hey, give me that. Keeps this drive alive. Gators on the sweep now. They're going to get things going to get a first down to the left side, a big first down to keep that drive going. And now the big man again, like I said, he's down that sideline trying to get it going. If they, you know, hey, if it ain't broke, just don't fix it. You know, give it back to the man. And again, here he goes, flies down the sideline, all gas, no brakes, no oil change needed either. He gets the touchdown all the way back to the house.
Pads flapping and everything.
Hey, you know, you got to get it done how you get it done. The quarterback keeper on for the Gators, a very tough kid right here, picks up the heavy yardage and the first down. That's a tough kid. I saw him last week, man. That first time starter, he's going to be very good for that team. Gators, look at the strike, heaves it down there again. Like he said, called Nelly. It's a tip drill right to the open man, and he walks right in as time expires on that clock for the first half. Second half now was all Jonesboro odds. They need a conversion. They go deep. They find that man at the goal line. Double coverage. It doesn't matter. That's all me. Get the bus started. This one is over. The Tigers take the 20-16 win.
All right, we're so back right now. Let's move on to Carroll versus Wasman. Release the Hounds. Release Zaylen Singleton. Look, we're going to start this one off. It's going to be Joshua Bravo with the kickoff for Carroll, and they're going to go ahead and get a nice return for the Wasman Wildcats, but this is only the beginning of this wonderful drive for them. They're going to start off in the first quarter. It's going to be Wasman driving, and their sophomore QB, Jatarian Long, is going to take the snap. Right here, he's going to roll out to his right on the move and find the man in the back of the end zone. Toe tap in the back. He's hyped up, and Wasman's going to take that early 6-0 lead. Yep, you heard 6-0 right, because they missed the extra point. Come on, kickers. But Carroll now is going to take it, and they say if you don't have two quarterbacks, you only have one. Well, two quarterbacks led to one touchdown here for the Carroll team, and it's going to be Denquarius Green taking it all the way to the end zone, 55 yards, and Carroll's going to jump out in front of Wasman here, give him an early 6-7 lead, but the Wildcats, they're never going away. Wildcats are scary. You see the QB is going to do it himself on the prowl like a Wildcat into the end zone. It's Jatarian Long again. He's going to get the touchdown, and I see that little jig over there. I don't think a Wildcat does that. But we're going to go for two because the kicker couldn't get the one the last time, and this time they're going to find the pay dirt. Oh, yeah, they're hyped up 14-7, and this 7-point lead is going to stay throughout the entire game. Wasman's going to get that win 22-15. But then the state champion Sterlington Panthers, they took on the Alexandria Trojans yesterday, and in the red zone here, they're going to throw it out to the end zone. It's a wide open man bringing it in for the opening touchdown. The Panthers on offense now are going to toss it to the tailback, trying to get their revenge, but he puts it on the ground. It must have been that rainy weather yesterday, and the Trojans are going to get that first turnover, but Ash is going to take advantage. They're going to give it to the tailback, rumbling, tumbling. Man down, man down. Nobody can bring this man down. He's going to take it all the way into the end zone, and it's going to be an early 14 lead, and the Panthers need to get some things going. They're going to give it to Strohmeyer out the backfield, and they're finally getting something going. Showing off the moves, the spin, dodging a man, and takes it all the way. A big-time first down for the Panthers, but Sterlington could not gain the momentum. You see, they put the ball on the ground again. And if you put the ball on the ground, the other team is going to find it. And Ash continuously found it throughout this game. There's a spin move. No, but it's the quarterback taking it up. He's going to do it himself all the way in for the touchdown. They are just continuously pushing out this Trojan lead. This time they're going to drop back deep for the pass, but Sterlington is thinking they might have some magic in there for the Panthers. It's going to be an interception. The defense stepping up, hoping that they can give the offense some light, but I think it's just a turnover day. The ball ends up on the ground again, and this time Ash is going to continue to recover it down at the goal line. The Trojans are going to cap off this drive with a run straight up the side to make it 30-0, and they cruise past the Panthers for this win.
I'm telling you right now, don't count Sterlington out. You know what happened last time? Everybody did that.
I learned my lesson.
In this game, we're going to have Beekman Charters versus Caldwell Parish. You see the QB right here. It's Eli Owens, the senior, and they had just let him take it himself, and big man runs a man over. Big time first down, and this time they're going to finish off the drive by handing it off to their running back, who's just going to find pay dirt. Oh yeah, they were up and ready to go, take the early 7-0 lead, but Caldwell Parish is going to respond with a touchdown of their own and miss the 2-point conversion, so they're going to fall in that one really quickly, 7-6, and we're going to move on to the Bastrop Rams, who came in their first games against Caldwell Parish, and those fresh legs after the first game are going to help the defense get this stop on fourth down. You see the big time plays from the Rams, and when you're a Spartan, you know, shields and swords can only do so much when the other team is throwing bombs. Look at that bomb deep to the Rams receiver, and that's going to set them up in the red zone. It's a play-action play. On the move, finds the man wide open in the center of the end zone. And that is actually the only score of this matchup. It's going to be 7-0. The Rams had control the entire time in that game. But it's time for the thriller. Beekman, Bastrop. And we said this QB was throwing bombs earlier. He continued it. You know what they call that? Blur ball. A big time catch. And that's going to set them up early. Beekman Charter did score first, but here is Bastrop with the throw into the end zone, barely getting in there. A toe tap in the front of the goal line, never seen that before, but it's gonna tie that game up, actually put them down or up by 2. And the big time return after this kickoff is going to come from number 4 right here, and he was a big time player, so why not continue to give the ball to number 4, Tristan West. He had a 45-yard run, and this one puts them up 12-8. The very next play, though, Bastrop on the kickoff gets a big return of their own. It was a big day for special teams. Hey, special teams take special players, and he's going to take this one all the way down into the red zone, setting them up for a potentially game-winning drive with just a minute left. It's the last chance for Bastrop, but this defense from Beekman Charter was not going away. The last chance, a pass into the back of the end zone, incomplete. Tigers are going to win this one in a big-time effort from number 4 again, Trenton West, 12-8.
What a fantastic jamboree we had. Let's do some regular season MAIS action. Prairie View Academy hosting Riverdale in this one, and Spartan Nation all fired up for this team. Well, check this out on the opening kickoff. Yeah, Riverdale's going to try to onside kick it, and it's going to be Cole Murphy making him pay for it right here. He's going to scoop this thing up and then check him out, go to work, and yeah, nobody's going to touch him. He takes this thing 60 yards to the house for the opening score. Yeah, it's just like that. Prairie View Academy finds themselves leading in this game, but they're not done on the 2-point conversion. How about Hayden Little? He's got a little play action right here. He's going to find Nathan Stokes and makes it an 8-0 ball game. At that point, I kind of knew this team was going to be rolling in this game. Rebels trying to run it. How about Dylan Hall and the Spartan defense just there to shut it down, having none of it right there as they get the big TFL at that point. Riverdale this time going to air it out. How about Mr. Stokes right here, playing a little defense and coming away with the pick and the little front flip on the back end of this thing. Fun stuff from him. But you know, he's not just a defensive player, he's also an offensive player. As you're going to see him go to work, he's going to make the Rebels pay right here. Yeah, a 45-yard touchdown strike. And yeah, the Prairie View Academy Spartans continue to add on to the lead. Cole Murphy doing what he does, just rumbling right in, bouncing off the defenders. Yeah, he's just like, get off me. I'm going to find my way in for 2 points. 16-0 Spartan lead at that point. PVA defense not messing around at all. They're going to swallow up the ball carrier. This was kind of the trend all night long for this defense, just not allowing many yards, many first downs, and not letting them move the ball at all. Spartans back on the attack. Little this time going to hit Stokes on the screen pass. This time he's going to do it himself. Makes the defender miss, and off to the races he goes. Yeah, it's the second touchdown of the day and extending out that lead. And yeah, who else other than Mr. Cole Murphy on the 2-point conversion? I tell you what, if I'm playing defense, I'm not getting in front of him. He just runs too hard. He lowers his shoulder. I'm not doing that. I'm smarter than that. Much smarter than that. Rebels looking for anything positive at this point. How about Fisher Daniels right here swallowing up the quarterback for the QB sack at that point? But it's going to be Riverdale going back to the air once again. And figured to try it again, maybe catch a defense sleeping. Not happening. Hayden Little said, I'm wide awake back here. He gets this pick. He's real patient right here on the return, but eventually says, hey, I'm just going to run you over. This is what I mean, business decisions. I'm not getting in front of that kid right there. Beautiful pick and beautiful return right there. That sets up the end of the first quarter, and it's, yeah, Mr. Little himself taking this handoff. 43-yard scamper in for the score. All Prairie View Academy all the time as they get the win over Riverdale. 46-0 your final in that one. Let's do some Thursday night football action in MAIS. River Oaks taking on Riverfield Academy in an 11-man football. And this one, the Mustangs opting to go down the field early on, and they're going to bring it in right here for the huge play and the big-time first down. Beautiful stuff from them. The Mustangs now continuing to move the ball down the field. As quarterback, keeping it himself this time. He's going to make his way down near the goal line. He's going to be brought down just shy, but he will pick up the first down at that point. Then disaster would happen on the ensuing play. This mishandled snap, and Riverfield Academy is going to come up with the ball and have some great field position. and his turnovers that cost you in football games. And on a night like this, it was John Cade Ziegler making the Mustangs pay for it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in this game as he takes off for a long touchdown score. The big man moving down the field. So Riverfield Academy would be leading in this game 22-0. Then it was called because Mother Nature couldn't cooperate. Seems like every year on this weekend, Mother Nature doesn't want to cooperate. Let's check out some other MAIS football scores from tonight, actually. We're going to check out and see Briarfield Academy would get the win over Porter's Chapel, 44-14 your final. That one, Claiborne Academy jumps all over Tallulah, 48-6 your final there. And Prentice Academy hands Kennesaw a loss tonight, 32-6 your final in that one. And while we're talking about some high school football, be sure to head over to our website, myarclist.com, to continue our countdown to kickoff with full interviews from our KTVE Coaches Media Day. 12 amazing coaches stopped in to discuss all kinds of football fun, from their team's potential this season to how they spend their free time when they're off the gridiron. Plenty of fun chats, so be sure to check all those out, and we will continue to drop those all the way leading up to September 5th, which is week 1 of LHSAA football. Cannot wait for that day. Let's check out the ULM Warhawks last night in their season opener, taking on St. Francis in this one. Bryant Vincent and company looking to start the 2025 campaign off on a right note. Almost a 2-hour rain delay, but the Warhawks came out swinging. How about Aiden Armenta finding J.P. Coulter on the short pass right here? He's going to pick up the first down. That sets up Braylon McReynolds. We talk about this running back room after losing a guy like Ahmad Hardy, but this running back room showing they're still solid. McReynolds takes this thing down the sideline. Check him out with the hezzy, the stiff arm, 74 yards. He's going to be tackled just shy of the end zone. He was so close. Hey, come on. He got hawked. He got
to finish the drive.
Beautiful run right there for him, but that sets up the OCS Eagle, former OCS Eagle Hunter Herring on the quarterback sneak. That guy, tell you, that guy's a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. Saw him on punt last night as well. Warhawks lead 7-0. Next possession, Aiden Armenta drops back, steps up in the pocket. Referee takes a tumble. Aiden Armenta takes it 32 yards. Check out the ball pop out. He catches or recovers his own fumble at that point, picks up the first down, and it's Dorian Lewis with a nice run right here, trying to inch the Warhawks closer to the end zone. Big time run for the first down. They stall with drive. The Warhawks looking for a 49-yard field goal attempt to add on to their lead. This kid's going to come up quite a bit short in this one. It's still a 7-0 lead. St. Francis still hanging in there. But that defense for ULM hanging in there is Cedrian Langston all over the quarterback as he tries to use his legs, yet having none of that. And then how about Billy Poland getting his hands up, deflecting the pass right here. This might be one of the best interceptions we see all season. Check out the big man, Cliff Mosley, coming in here, falling over his own guy to get the interception, sitting on his stomach. Beautiful play from him. Unfortunately for the Warhawks, the drive would stall out once again. Not unable to get any points in this one, but they're still looking to go to work. They're looking to extend Aiden Armenta, back to that defense. It's Darko Perkins, McAllister getting to the quarterbacks right there for the sack, standing strong at that point. Now the Warhawks looking to extend that lead. It's Aiden Armenta going to try to use his legs and scramble. He buys some time right here. Look at him right here. Great job at the O-line, and Armenta keeping his eyes down the field. He finds Tyler Griffin, and he's going to break free right here and find his way in the end zone. But hold on just a second. Bring it back. Flag on the play. Warhawks called for a holding. Would have raced to 6 points off the board at that point. And it's Zach Palmer-Smith trying to get him going again. Strong run right here as he's going to get through the defense, lower the shoulder, pick up the first down. Armenta this time going to go to the air and find his guy, Jake Godfrey, right here for a big chunk play for the Warhawks. Inching closer and closer. Again, still 7-0. Expected ULM to be up a little more at this point, but they're trying to add on right here. Armenta this time going to spread the love right here. He's going to find Rico Powers on the sprint out pass right here for another Warhawk first down. But the Red Flash defense standing strong. Very impressed with this Red Flash defense in this game, taking on a team like ULM as they're going to get to the quarterback. They're going to get to Armenta and bring him down for the QB sack at that point. ULM is going to settle for 3 points. Tell you what, the second half they would pull away. We also had Landon Graves touchdown. Another Eagle got in the scorebooks for the Warhawks in this one. They would pull away and get the win over St. Francis 29-0. Although it was a win, Bryant Vincent and company know if they want to win the Sun Belt, they can't perform like this. Let's hear from Coach after the game.
Victories are hard to come by in Division I football. But I think that locker room that I just left will all tell you, obviously we're satisfied and we'll take a win every single day, but we know we didn't play our best. Proud of our defense. I think they crossed the 50 one time. So very proud of our defense to get a shutout. And offensively, we've just got to keep working. Our execution, was not good. It's got to get a lot better, and we know that, and that's something that we'll embrace as we move forward. But at the end of the day, whatever adversity we continue to go through, whether it's lightning delays or it's whatever it is, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's how we handle it. It's how we handle adversity. It's how we stay focused. And I thought our execution offensively was very below average, and must increase. So you make your biggest strides from week 1 to week 2 is what I believe, and when we've got to make tremendous strides before we go into Tuscaloosa.
Speaking of Tuscaloosa, tough showdown for ULM next week as they take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama. While we're on the topic of ULM Warhawks, let's talk about former ULM Warhawk Ahmad Hardy suiting up for the Missouri Tigers for the first time, and what a day he had. 100 yards on 10 carries, 1 touchdown, and the Tigers' 61-6 win over Central Arkansas. It was classic Ahmad Hardy performance in that one. Other college football games coming up this weekend. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs back at home at the Joe as they take on Southeastern Louisiana to open their season. Kickoff set for Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And also in action will be the Grambling State Tigers. Mickey Joseph and company will take on the Langston University Lions inside of Independence Stadium for the Shreveport Kickoff Classic. The Tigers look to start their campaign off 1-0 as they kick off at 7 o'clock p.m. On an SEC note, we have some big college football games, starting off with the Arkansas Hogs as they look to kick things off against Alabama A&M at 3:15 p.m. And then how about this? Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers take a trip to the Clemson Tigers to settle the debate on where the real Death Valley is. Kickoff set for Saturday evening at 6:30. We caught up with Go Nation to check out this matchup. Let's check it out and see what they had to say about the game.
And now, your Go Nation report, sponsored by Creed & Creed, your local injury attorneys.
Hey guys, we've all heard the talk about how LSU is 0-5 in season openers, 0-3 with Brian Kelly at the helm. Well, Dabo Swinney and his Clemson Tigers, they've struggled out of the gate as well. In fact, they are 0-2 in season openers. Just a year ago, they got demolished by Georgia there in Atlanta. Then they were upset by Duke. So both of these teams are eager and ready to make a statement in week 1.
We just gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. We got Clemson on the road the first game, and we ain't at home, so we ain't comfortable. We just gotta come in and do what we do. Play good defense, get on them early, and keep our foot on their neck. This is probably the biggest game that's gonna be going on Saturday. I feel like we got the primetime game for real. We the last game, so we the show that everybody wanna see.
When you wake up and it's game week, it's like, it's game week, and that's everybody. If this is what you do for a living and you cover this sport, y'all probably all said the same thing this week, like, it's game week, like, let's go.
Covering LSU on the road for your Go Nation, I'm Chessa Boucher. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
I don't know about you guys, but LSU Clemson big time matchup tomorrow. I'm hoping the Bayou Bengals head to Clemson over to South Carolina and they come out there singing some Callin' Baton Rouge or something, because I know how you feel, you Alabama guy, Auburn guy, but go Tigers, baby. Tigers by 7 tomorrow.
Tigers by 7, they already think I don't like the Tigers from here, They already think I don't like them, so I'm going to press it even more. I think Clemson taking this one. I don't trust the history of openers for LSU. I think Clemson going to take it to them. I think it's 21-17. Clemson going to take it over.
I think it's going to be a little more high scoring than that. I think we're going to see something in the mid-30s to low 20s or high 20s, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Clemson Tigers as well. No disrespect to LSU, but I will say, if LSU wins, I'm rooting for the SEC.
I tell you what, man, you can't go wrong with the SEC. Before we get out of here, let's talk about some other college football. Obviously, Louisiana Tech at home tomorrow. You had a chance to catch up with Sonny Cumbie and company over there. Just what are you seeing through fall camp and leading up to week 1 from this team that they can really thrive off of?
I think the thing that has been the thing I've seen really in fall camp is that this, we're seeing, the big thing was off-season was what was this defense going to look like? Jeremiah Johnson, the defense coordinator, did a fantastic job last year. He's no longer here, so now you bring in Luke Olson, who has, high-level competition. He's just coming off of a Conference USA championship. You integrate that, and I think the big thing that, helps them, their defensive schemes are so similar. So it's not like these players are learning something completely different. These schemes are similar, so that helps. I don't think this defense is going to take a fall off like some people really kind of view it as. You see all the transfers that moved out and went to bigger programs. I think the defense is still, they might not be, top 20 in the entire country, but this is still going to be a defense that needs to be feared. I think the bigger question is, and it's all over everybody's mind, is who is going to be the quarterback for this team in 2025. The depth chart came out today, it's or season, Trey Kukoc or Evan Bullock or Blake Vegas. So I think that's going to be the bigger question, because I think whoever rolls out, I don't think we're going to see one guy. I think tomorrow we're going to see a bunch of guys. I think we're going to have a chance to see all three maybe.
And that's what week ones are for.
Absolutely. You got to see, and Coach Cumbie said, he thinks he can win with all three guys. So the thing is, who do you trust more? Obviously, Trey Kukoc has taken the first team reps over the last 2 weeks of fall camp. So the expectation, if you ask me who I think will get the first crack, I think it's Trey. I think he's taken on so much progression since the spring. He got bigger, he got faster, he got stronger. So I think he's going to get the first crack at it, but whoever they choose, that is going to determine how this season turns out for Sonny Cumbie, because we all know that leash is not very long right now.
Yep, exactly right. For our guy Shaw, first time getting to cover some Grambling State Tigers, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately in Shreveport, so we won't be there. We won't be there this weekend, but we'll have some time for you to check out some Grambling State Tiger football. But you talked to Coach Mickey Joseph earlier in the week. What was the talk like from him heading into a big matchup for really a big season for him, a must-win season for Mickey Joseph?
Yeah, for heading into this first game, his big thing was emotion, right? This is the place that gave him his start as a head coach. He says that Langston is who built the foundation for the person, the man, who he is now. His daughters even live near Langston University and are still connected to it. So that's going to be a bittersweet moment for him heading into it. How much are the connections still there, and how much of that can you take out in the game, right? But just like Louisiana Tech, they need to know who their quarterback is, right? And the difference here, I think, is that we know we're going to see two tomorrow. Coach Joseph told us that we're going to see two. He said he's not going to tell us who the starter is until game day, but we very much know that we're likely going to get a 60-40 type of situation, and it's something that he's dealt with before, something that he says, hey, it's actually harder on the defenses. You have to give them 2 game plans for them to play in one game, and they're prepared on the offensive side. Will defenses be prepared for both Grambling quarterbacks? But I think naming a solidified starter at some point in the season may come, and that will be something that will remain to be seen. That and their mental toughness, like Coach Joseph talked about with us, is how Grambling season will play out. It depends on those factors.
I'm excited to see both those teams in action. I know Jeremy's been holding this in this whole time, man. We just got done watching the game, man.
I want y'all to know. Hey, you know, I told them, hey, I wasn't coming on the show if Albany win. So y'all lucky y'all got me tonight. I'm just saying, hey, all I'm gonna say is we got that win, but we going to the ship this year.
I'll tell you what, guys, thanks for joining us. And remember, every week we'll be streaming Football Friday Night The Score Extra right here on our Facebook page. And we're going to get it up on everywhere we can get it up to bring you extended football coverage. Plenty more football. We're officially back. High school football, college football. We're in the mix of things. Can't wait to see you all right back here next week.